When I was in my 20s and early 30s, I was a take charge kind of gal, the one in the driver's seat of life, always in control. Now, I'm a mother. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have chosen to have children if I'd known how completely out of control I generally feel. There's a whole industry out there aimed at deluding strong, independent women like myself into thinking they can be a mother and still be in control. We have what to expect when you're expecting, so nothing has to be unexpected. We have classes that teach us how to assert ourselves with the medical establishment to get the birth we want. We have prenatal yoga so we can practice squatting in order to pop that baby out the most efficient way possible. When I got pregnant, I was sure I was completely in control, but I wanted to appear relaxed and cool. At the ultrasound, when the doctor asked if we wanted to know the gender, we said no. Not so much because we didn't want to know, but because it seemed like the relaxed and cool way to do it. Of course we wanted to know. We just didn't want anyone to know we wanted to know. So we took our grainy black and white video home and began to secretly pore over it, comparing it to images we found online. We deduced with near certainty that the baby was a girl. When labor started, our charts, diagrams, and lists deluded us into thinking we knew what to expect at every stage of the birth. But it took 20 hours of irregular, sluggish labor, my meticulously crafted birth plan completely out the window, before our little baby was finally born. We took one look at the sludge-covered creature that was emerging and thought, oh crap, she got Grandpa's nose. Fortunately for Liam, Grandpa's nose suited him just fine as soon as we figured out he was a boy. Apparently, though, I still had a lot to learn about who was, or at least who wasn't, boss. Liam came out blue as can be, having, quote, aspirated meconium, the medical establishment's way of relieving us from having to explain, my baby inhaled his own poop. The nervous-looking people dressed in a bright official-looking blue waved him in my face and whisked him away. It took them 5 hours to stabilize him, during which I moved in a surreal world in which I was a mother, but would not have been able to pick my baby out of a lineup. That first week of motherhood was filled with shattered expectations. When I left the hospital 2 days after giving birth, kicked out even though our baby had to stay the week, the car seat was empty. No baby lying next to me at night, an electric pump instead of my baby at my breast. Our first week of parenting was an exhausting sequence of visits back and forth to the NICU. This was the start of learning that the only thing I should expect with a child is the unexpected. From that very beginning, Liam has defied predictability. Some experts diagnosed autism, others simple raw genius. It was so hard to make him happy or protect him from deep sadness because the things that make him happy or sad are always surprising. When he was a preschooler, we'd buy him toys, and he'd sit for hours memorizing songs from the church hymnal. We'd take him to the Central Market playground, and he'd immediately toddle off into the store to stare in rapture at the spinning ceiling fans. We encouraged free-form, creative play in nature, but witnessed in awe as he taught himself to read chapter books by the age of 3.5. We had to reach deep inside to share enjoyment in the reciting of stops and transfers and route numbers from the bus schedule. He follows no developmental timetable, no what to expect from your child in any way whatsoever. I think that all children are humbling, right? They are experts at showing us how little we know. Just as painful contractions during childbirth are actually causing the womb to open up, so the daily interactions in which we are tested and drained and defeated give us an opportunity to release control so that we can expand and grow stronger. Daily, I am the phoenix crumbling in a pile of ashes, only to rise again to the glorious challenge of mothering this incredible soul. This past December, we celebrated Liam's 10th birthday, a decade of losing control. On the morning I returned to work after winter vacation, Liam and I had an enormous fight about something not many 10-year-olds care passionately about, whether or not Google Translator is a definitive source for Latin translation. This escalated into a sarcastic screaming match. So what exactly are we supposed to do, Mommy? Call the ancient Romans and ask them how to say it? Frustrated by the fact that he'd obviously won the argument and determined to show him who was boss, I dug deep and retorted, "You know what, Liam? I don't even care whether or not it's an accurate translation. Latin is a dead language." I stormed away, but not before noticing that he was looking sadly down into his lap, his lower lip trembling. And I knew then that I suddenly did care about Latin translations. And I knew that at any moment, what comes next, out of an argument or a body or a mother's new self, is often a surprise that is completely out of my control. Like I said, I'm pretty certain I wouldn't have chosen to have children if I'd known how out of control I generally feel, but I'm sure glad that I did.